guys, today I'm going to show you how I have my spices, vinegars, and oils organized. I just wanted to show you where these cabinets are before I get started. So the cabinet on the right is my spice cabinet, and the cabinet on my left is for my vinegars and oils. I wanted them very close to the stove so that while I'm cooking I can just grab a spice if I want to, or grab the olive oil, and it just makes it really nice to have everything close by instead of having to go to the pantry. It really works out well having them very close to the stove, and I did that at my old house as well. They were right above my stove. I am going to start with my spice cabinet door. I do have my measuring cups and spoons on little 3M hooks hanging there, and you probably have seen that a million times on Pinterest. I don't know who the original person was who thought of that, but it works really well. You can decorate it and make it all fancy and do, a chalkboard and label everything. I just kept it really simple. I'm organizing a whole house, so maybe one day I'll get fancy, but for now this works really well. I already had the 3M hook, so I know they're in order, so I don't really have to label it. It's fine. And my measuring spoons just have a tiny hole, so a 3M hook actually wouldn't fit through there. I even looked at the tiniest 3M hooks and they were still too big. So I just have them on a ring, but it's not the type of ring that you have to feed it through like, what our keys are on. So it just opens up really easily, which I can't do with one hand, but really easily, and then everything just stays on there. So if I had different measuring spoons, I'd probably have those going across as well, but that just makes it so easy. They go right back on the hooks, instead of jumbled in a drawer. Here is my spice cabinet. Now I know some people have gorgeous spice cabinets and they have matching jars for all of their spices, and it looks really nice, and part of me wanted to do that and just get all of the same jars and put them in there and label them and have it look really nice, but in reality I don't know if that would really work for me. And I've mentioned this at my old house for my old spice cabinet. I have quite a few spices and I love to cook, and you guys know I do cooking videos on my channel as well. So I'm getting new things, I'm trying new things, and I don't want to be limited. I want to just be able to grab a spice. If I see something cool and want to try it, I want to just be able to put it in my cabinet instead of having to like make a separate jar and wonder if I can still get that jar. If you buy 40 of them or whatever, and then what if you can't find them later down the road or whatever. And then I also think, okay, I fill it, but some spices come in big containers, and what do I do with the extra? Then I have to put that in my pantry, and it can just be a big pain to make it look pretty. That's just my thinking. If you don't have a ton of spices, if you just stick to the basics, then having jars might work for you, and if you want to do that, of course you can, but for me, I think I'm just going to keep them in their original containers, and maybe one day when I have a lot of time I will put them in separate containers, but this is life right now. So I just wanted to explain that to you in case you're kind of thinking about how to organize your spices. So my kitchen cabinets, some of them are pretty shallow. They aren't very deep. So I had to find Lazy Susans that were, I believe these are 9 inches, and they do make some that are 12 inches. So I just put 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. And I set all of my spices out on my countertop and put them in alphabetical order. And that might be a little bit crazy, but it helps so much to be able to find things, especially because I have quite a few and they're in all different containers and everything. It just really makes it easy to have them in alphabetical order. Another way that you could arrange your spices is by cuisine. So you could put all of your like Mexican dish spices together, all of your Italian dish spices together, Asian spices, things like that. That's another option. Mine kind of crossover, so that didn't really work for me. I'm just throwing out some ideas. Okay, let me show you what I did. So like I said, I put them in alphabetical order, and I decided to do A through C down here because I am always grabbing my cinnamon. I use it pretty much every day in smoothies, so that just made sense to have that there. And it doesn't matter, of course, how you have these labeled. I just saw how many would fit on this first one, and then I did my labels accordingly. So on this one, it starts with basil, bay leaves, and I try to keep them in order, but my boys are grabbing things out of here too, so if it's not perfect, it's fine as long as it kind of gets back on the right lazy Susan. That really is helpful to be able to find everything. I did get these Lazy Susans at Bed Bath & Beyond, and you can always use coupons there. I can't remember how much they were, but I know they were maybe around $5 each, and I know I used coupons. And then over here, I had more C's, so it went from CU, so I have cumin and curry powder, dill weed, and it's kind of in order, so it just makes it easy to find everything. And then I did the same thing up here. It's MU, so I have my dry mustard, yellow mustard, and you know, it goes through the peas. And it just so happened that all of them are CU, MU, and PU. I didn't plan that, so whatever you get to, just pick up from there. And it doesn't have to be complicated. With organizing, it can look really nice, but it also has to function for you. So whatever works well for your family, and this works really well for us. So in this one, I went PU through Z, and then I do have some extra peppercorns and my 21 seasoning salute. I don't use this all the time, so just stuck that on top. And then I just stuck my sea salt here, and I do have my salt and pepper shakers down here on the counter because we're always grabbing those. So that works really well for my spice cabinet. I'm able to find everything really well, and then if I get something, I can easily add it. And if for some reason my labels no longer match what's in there, like if things start to carry over a little bit, I can easily just print off a new label. It's just 3 little letters and a dash, and no big deal. So that has been working really, really well for me, and I'm going to show you my vinegars and oils as well. Over to the left of my stove, I have my vinegars and oils, and again, I use the Lazy Susans. These work so well for organizing things. I did try the levels, kind of like the little step type of organizers, and those didn't work at all because you couldn't see what was behind everything in the front. So I ended up taking those back, and I got some smaller Lazy Susans that work well in this cabinet. I use the 9-inch ones in here, but they do make 12-inch ones, so if you have deeper cabinets, those might be a better option. But Lazy Susans and cabinets are awesome. They work so well, and again, they're only like $5, and you can use coupons. So I have my oils here. I put the ones that I use the most in the front. So I have my olive oil, coconut oil, my misto, which I just put my own olive oil in there and use it all the time. If you guys watch my cooking videos, you know that I'm always using that. So I just have a few oils in there. I don't keep a ton of oils, so if you have more, you could always add a 3rd Lazy Susan depending on the size of your cabinet if you have a lot of vinegars and oils, or if you have more spices than me, you know, just make it work. You could always put more at the top or whatever. We all have different cabinets. This one here is for vinegar, so I have all of my vinegars there, and it just makes it so easy when I'm cooking. I can just grab everything, and things stay neat instead of just having them stacked behind each other in a cabinet, and then you have to dig through to get your white wine vinegar or whatever, and you're tearing everything out and you're trying to cook, and it just makes it so easy to have it on a Lazy Susan. And I just have a couple cooking wines there. If you notice my cabinet behind there, we still need to cover that up. It was cut out for an electrical outlet. You guys know we just recently moved in. And then above my vinegars and oils, I just have 2 bottles that I have for olive oil and dressing, and I might get some more We recently moved, as you guys know, and I got different dishes, so I might get a few different ones, and I have plenty of room to add to that. So that is my very simple spice cabinet and vinegar and oil cabinet. I hope I give you some helpful tips. If you have anything that you would like to share that you have found helpful in organizing your spice cabinet or your vinegars and oils, please leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching.